They never told you the real secret. They said work harder, hustle longer, grind until your bones break. But here's the truth. People who truly build wealth aren't chasing money. They're attracting it. They walk into rooms and create value. They speak with clarity. They move with power. And without begging, without forcing, money comes to them. You've been chasing when you should have been building magnetism. Because when you shift your energy, your habits, your identity, money doesn't need to be hunted. It finds you. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to stop running after money and start becoming the kind of person money runs after. Let's flip the script. Let's turn the tables. Let's make money chase you. 1. Become valuable, not just busy. Let's get this straight right now. Being busy doesn't mean you're being productive. Running around, multitasking, checking your phone every 3 minutes. That's motion, not progress. It feels like you're doing a lot, but you're not actually moving forward. There's a big difference between being busy and being valuable. You see, money doesn't flow to the person who works the longest hours. It flows to the person who solves meaningful problems. Let me say that again. Money follows value, not sweat, not stress, not struggle, value. Think about it. A person flipping burgers all day works hard, but the person who designed the system that runs the burger company, that person gets rich. Why? Because they created something of value that keeps paying them, whether they're working or not. So if you want money to chase you, you have to stop doing work that makes you feel busy and start doing work that makes you better. Ask yourself, what skill do I have that solves a real problem? How can I make someone's life easier, faster, better, or more enjoyable? What can I offer that people would gladly pay for? If you can answer those questions, you're not just clocking in hours, you're building leverage. Here's the key. Busyness is reactive. Value is intentional. People stay stuck in the trap of doing more instead of doing what matters. But when you switch gears, when you become intentional about where your energy goes, you start building real value, and the market rewards that. Let's get practical for a moment. If you're a graphic designer, stop just designing pretty things. Learn how to design high-converting content. Help businesses make money through your designs. That's value. If you're a writer, don't just write to fill space. Write copy that gets sales, that moves people to act. That's value. It's not about adding hours. It's about adding impact. You want to attract money? Stop working harder on low-return activities. Start becoming excellent at things people deeply need. Master your craft, refine your skills, increase your output quality. That's how you become irreplaceable. Because once you become valuable, you won't have to chase anyone. They'll chase you. 2. Change your identity, not just your goals. Let's be honest. Anyone can set a goal. I want to make 6 figures. I want to start a business. I want financial freedom. But goals without identity change, they're just wishful thinking. You don't get rich by chasing money. You get rich by becoming the kind of person money is attracted to. See, here's the truth. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your identity. If deep down you still believe you're broke, unworthy, inconsistent, or just getting by, no goal will ever be strong enough to override that belief. Let's say your goal is to become a successful entrepreneur. Great. But if your identity is still stuck in employee thinking, if you're still waiting for permission, still afraid to take risks, still hoping someone will come save you, then you'll sabotage yourself every step of the way. This is why so many people stay stuck. They change their behavior for a few weeks, but they never change their belief about who they are. Here's what you need to understand. Your actions will always try to stay consistent with your identity. If you see yourself as average, you'll act average. If you believe you're not disciplined, you'll find ways to prove it. But the moment you change the story you tell yourself about yourself, everything starts to shift. Because money doesn't chase people who dabble. Money chases people who embody the habits, mindset, and standards of success daily. So ask yourself, who do I need to become for this life I want? What version of me already lives that life? How does that person think, move, speak, decide, and act? That's your blueprint. Start making decisions from that identity, even before the evidence shows up. Act like a disciplined person, and discipline will follow. Think like someone who deserves success, and opportunities will appear. Behave like the CEO of your life, not the intern. Because when your identity upgrades, your behavior follows. And when your behavior changes consistently, so does your reality. Remember, chasing goals is external. Shifting identity is internal. And real lasting change always begins from the inside out. You don't need a new strategy. You need a new standard for who you are. And when that shift happens, the world starts to respond differently. Opportunities come faster. People treat you with more respect. Money starts showing up, not because you're chasing it, but because now you're the kind of person it sticks to. 3. Stop needing money. Start commanding it. Here's one of the biggest paradoxes about money. The more you need it, the more it runs from you. Why? Because neediness creates resistance. It creates desperation. It puts you in a mindset of lack, not power. And here's the truth. Most people don't want to hear. Money doesn't respond to desperation. It responds to direction. If you're constantly thinking, I need to pay rent, I need to survive, I need someone to save me, you've already surrendered your power. Let's be clear. There's nothing wrong with wanting more. There's nothing wrong with working hard. But needing it from a place of fear and lack only attracts more situations that reflect that fear and lack. You can't walk into the world saying, I'll feel confident once I have money, because that mindset makes money the boss, and you the beggar. You have to flip the script. You have to walk like someone who knows they're valuable. You have to speak like someone who trusts their ability to create wealth. You have to carry yourself like someone who commands their future, not begs for survival. Money is a tool, not a savior. And tools respond to hands that know what they're building. Here's a secret. The moment you stop needing money to validate you, the moment you stop tying your identity to your bank account, the moment you stop chasing with that anxious energy, you open the door for money to flow in naturally. Because now you're not chasing crumbs. You're creating value. You're building. You're focused. You're solving problems. You're expanding your skill set. You're doing work that pulls money toward you, not work that pushes you into burnout. Commanding money doesn't mean being arrogant. It means knowing what you bring to the table. It means walking in alignment with abundance, not attachment to desperation. You stop asking, will someone hire me? And start saying, this is the value I bring. Here's what it costs. You stop saying, I hope I make enough this month. And start saying, I'm building systems that create income whether I'm working or not. This mindset shift is everything. Because when you stop needing money, you stop vibrating at the level of survival, and you start creating from the level of vision. That's when you become magnetic. That's when you stop asking life for scraps, and start commanding what's already yours by divine right. Not through entitlement, but through embodiment. Money starts chasing the people who have the confidence to believe they can create it, use it, manage it, and multiply it. So remember this, you don't chase oxygen. You don't beg for gravity. They're already working for you. Start treating money the same way. Become so valuable, so aligned, so clear in who you are and what you do, that it would be foolish for money not to flow to you.
4. Build systems, not just hustle. Let's make something very clear. Hustle will make you tired. Systems will make you rich. We live in a world that praises the grind. People wear burnout like a badge of honor. They think the more hours they sacrifice, the more success they deserve. But let me ask you something. If your income stops the moment you stop working, do you really have freedom? If every dollar depends on your constant effort, are you building wealth or just digging deeper into exhaustion? Hustling without a system is like running on a treadmill, sweating, panting, exhausted, but never actually moving forward. Now don't get it twisted. The hustle is important in the beginning. Yes, there are seasons where you have to push. You have to wake up early, stay up late, sacrifice comfort. But that hustle, it's just phase 1. The goal is not to stay in the grind. The goal is to build a machine that keeps working, even when you're not. Because freedom isn't working 18 hours a day. Freedom is waking up and knowing your systems are working while you rest, while you travel, while you focus on bigger things. So what is a system? It's repeatable, it's scalable, it's predictable, and most importantly, it doesn't rely solely on you. Let me give you some examples. If you're a coach, don't just trade hours for dollars. Create a course that sells itself. If you're a freelancer, don't just take project after project. Build a team
or a brand that gets referrals on autopilot. If you're in business, don't just rely on your time. Build funnels, automation, content libraries, and customer journeys that multiply your reach. One-on-one effort gives you linear results. Systems give you exponential results. Now here's the truth. Building a system takes more effort up front. It's not sexy. It's not glamorous. It doesn't give instant dopamine, but it gives you something far more valuable: leverage. When you hustle without systems, your income has a ceiling: your energy. When you build with systems, your income has no ceiling, because your efforts multiply. Think about it like planting seeds. Hustle is you digging, watering, working the soil. Systems are the irrigation, the sun schedule, the tools you put in place to make that harvest come even when you're not there. So stop saying, "I need to work harder." Start asking, "How can I work smarter, more strategically, and more sustainably?" Because the wealthy don't just work hard. They build once, then let that build work for them, again and again. That's the shift. Don't just hustle for money. Build systems that attract it, even while you sleep. 5. Protect your energy. It's your greatest currency. You've been taught to protect your time. You've been told to protect your money. But almost no one told you the truth. Your energy is the currency that drives it all. See, you can make more money. You can get more opportunities. You can recover lost time in small ways. But when your energy is drained, when your peace is gone, when your mind is tired, when your spirit feels heavy, you can't create. You can't think. You can't lead. You can't attract abundance. Energy isn't just physical. It's spiritual. It's emotional. It's mental. And the people who win in this world, they guard it like a treasure chest. Let me ask you, what's draining you right now? Is it toxic people? Is it constantly scrolling through social media, comparing your life to people who are faking theirs? Is it working a job that starves your soul but pays your bills? Is it spending your time trying to please people who don't even value you? Because here's the hard truth. You can't attract wealth, peace, success, or confidence when your energy is being bled out by nonsense. You don't rise by doing more. You rise by doing less of what steals your power. Let me say that again. You rise by subtracting, not just by adding. Every yes you say to something that doesn't serve you is a no to something that could have changed your life. So protect your mornings. Start the day with intention, not reaction. Don't open your phone. Don't jump straight into noise. Sit with yourself. Align your mind. Guard your state. Protect your environment. If someone makes you feel small, tired, or anxious every time they enter the room, limit your access. You don't owe anyone your peace. Protect your mental bandwidth. Stop giving your focus to drama, gossip, distractions. Not everything deserves your reaction. Not every invitation needs a response. Protect your purpose. Every time you spend hours doing what doesn't matter, you delay the life you were meant to build. The successful protect their energy because they understand it fuels everything else. Your energy is what people feel when you walk in the room. It's what powers your discipline. It's what sharpens your decisions. It's what determines how well you execute on your vision. If your energy is off, everything else will be too. So treat it like money. No, treat it like more than money. Be intentional about where it goes. Be unapologetic about who gets it. And be ruthless about what drains it. Because when your energy is aligned, focused, and full, the world responds. Opportunities open. People notice. Money follows. Energy isn't just fuel. It's magnetism. Protect it like your future depends on it. Because it does. 6. Learn the language of wealth. You want wealth to chase you. You've got to speak its language. Because wealth has a vocabulary. It has a mindset. It has a frequency. And if you're not tuned in, you'll keep chasing something that doesn't recognize you. Here's the truth. Most people are fluent in scarcity, not abundance. They've spent their lives repeating phrases like, "I can't afford that. That's too expensive. Money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are greedy. I'm just trying to survive." And the problem is, you become what you repeat. Language is not just communication. Language shapes identity, and identity drives behavior. If your words are constantly rooted in fear, limitation, and survival, your actions will follow the same path. Small, hesitant, reactive. But if you start shifting your language, you begin to shift your reality. Instead of saying, "I can't afford it," say, "How can I afford it?"
Now your brain is solving instead of shutting down. Instead of saying, I'm broke, say I'm in the process of building wealth. Now you're not identifying with lack. You're aligning with growth. You've got to start learning the terms that wealthy people live by. Words like assets, things that make you money while you sleep. Leverage, doing more with less by using tools, people, and systems. Return on investment, not just for money, but for time, energy, and attention. Cash flow, not just income, but how money moves in and out of your life. Compounding, how little decisions made consistently explode into huge outcomes over time. Wealthy people speak in terms of value, impact, and scale. They ask different questions. They don't ask, how much does it cost? They ask, what does it return? They don't say, I'll never make that much. They ask, who do I have to become to be worth that much? You see, the language of wealth isn't just in dollars. It's in decisions. It's in clarity. It's in confidence. It's in the way you think when no one's watching. And the most dangerous thing, you're fluent in whatever you practice. If you constantly talk about debt, struggle, and limitation, that's the world you will live in. If you begin to talk about opportunity, ownership, and expansion, that's the world you will start to create. So study wealth, read books that stretch your mindset, listen to people who've built what you want, pay attention to the way they speak, and let that language become your own. Because once your words change, your world follows. Don't just chase wealth, become someone who speaks it fluently. That's how money starts recognizing you. That's how opportunities start calling your name. That's how the game changes forever. 7. Act rich before you are. In habits, not spending. This one's powerful, and if you misunderstand it, you'll get stuck. I'm not telling you to go out and buy designer shoes you can't afford. I'm not telling you to fake a lifestyle for Instagram. I'm telling you to adopt the habits, the standards, and the thinking of someone who already has the life you want. Because rich isn't about what's in your bank account. It's about how you show up. Poor habits create a poor life. Rich habits build a rich one. So let me ask you this. If you had the money, the time, the freedom, would you wake up at noon and scroll your phone for 2 hours? Would you blow every dollar on things that lose value the second you buy them? No, you'd have routines. You'd protect your time. You'd invest in your mind. You'd make powerful decisions with clarity, not desperation. And guess what? You don't need $1 million to start doing that. You can start acting like someone who's building wealth right now. Here's how. Wealthy people value time because they know it's more precious than money. Track your finances. You can't master what you ignore. Learn where every dollar goes. Delay gratification. Rich people make short-term sacrifices for long-term gains. Read daily, not just for information, but to condition your mindset for growth. Surround yourself with builders, not complainers, not victims, people who stretch you. Invest, even if it's small. $5 a week into your future is better than $500 into status. Speak with confidence, not arrogance, certainty, because you've done the work.
Here's the secret. Most people try to look rich, to feel accepted, but real wealth, it's quiet, it's disciplined, it's invisible.
Until it's undeniable.
Don't flex your income, build your outcome. You don't need to pretend you're rich by buying what you can't afford. You prove you're becoming rich by doing what most people avoid. Getting up early, saying no to distractions, studying when others party, thinking long-term when others want shortcuts. You act rich not by what you buy, but by what you build, day by day. Act like the person you want to be. Walk like the future version of you is already here. Because when your habits match the level of the life you want, that life starts coming to you. You don't wait until you're successful to act like it. You act like it until you are.
8.
Hang around growth, not gossip. You want money to chase you. Then look around. Who are you walking with? Because money doesn't just follow hard work. It follows alignment. You can have goals, vision, and ambition, but if you're spending your time with people who are stuck in gossip, drama, and small talk, you're poisoning your progress. Here's the truth. Most avoid. Your environment is either fertilizing your growth or suffocating it. Gossip is the language of the small-minded. Growth is the language of the focused. Gossip talks about people.
Wait.
Growth talks about ideas. opportunities, strategy, discipline, change. So check your circle. If every conversation you're in is about who's doing what, who's failing, who messed up, who's dating who, you're draining your energy, not building your empire. Winners talk about plans. Losers talk about people. Think about it. You become who you spend the most time with. If you're around people who only complain, you'll complain. If you're around people who only talk drama, you'll attract drama. But if you're around people who stretch your thinking, challenge your habits, push you to level up, you'll grow fast. This is why some people stay stuck for years. Not because they don't have potential, but because they're surrounded by comfort zones wearing human faces. And here's the thing. You don't need to cut everyone off with cold silence. Just limit your access. You don't owe your future to people who are committed to staying average. Start spending time in rooms that make you rise. Follow people who live what they teach. Join communities that talk growth, goals, investments, mindset, service, legacy. Even if you're the least experienced person in the room, that's a good thing. Because being the smallest in a powerful circle will grow you faster than being the smartest in a lazy one. Money is energy. It's attracted to movement, discipline, creation, not gossip. So if you're serious about building wealth, make sure your conversations reflect your intent. Make sure your circle reflects your vision. And make sure your environment is one that multiplies your mindset, not orders it. Because when you stop talking about people, start building with people, money starts moving toward you. 9. Let go of what's holding you back. If you really want money to chase you, here's a truth you can't ignore. You cannot rise while you're still clinging to what's weighing you down. Think about a hot air. You can fire up the burner. You can fire up the burners all day long. Build heat, build momentum. But if you don't cut the ropes tied to the ground, you'll never get off the floor.
And that's exactly how most people live. They read the books,
They watch the videos, they work hard, but they're still tied down by the same anchors. Old mindsets, toxic relationships, fear of failure, scarcity thinking, the need for approval, regret, past mistakes. They say they want wealth, but deep down, they're dragging around emotional luggage that no longer serves. Let me be clear. Letting go isn't weakness. Letting go is one of the strongest things you'll ever do. You can't attract the future if you're obsessed with the past. You can't build new habits while still justifying old excuses. You can't move in abundance while operating in fear. So ask yourself, what am I still holding on to that's costing me growth? What beliefs are still running my life without my permission? What story do I keep telling myself about why I can't succeed? Because until you release those stories, you will repeat those stories. Some of you are still chasing money with a heart full of resentment. You're trying to build a better life while still holding on the people who drained you. You're trying to rise while carrying the version of yourself who said, let it go. Let go of the version of you who tolerated less. Let go of the need to explain yourself to people who don't understand your vision. Let go of the guilt for outgrowing people who chose comfort who chose comfort over evolution. You're not abandoning anyone. You're choosing you. And sometimes choosing you is what finally sets everything in motion. Remember this, nature doesn't hesitate to let go what no longer fits the season. Trees shed their leaves. Snakes shed their you must shed your limits. So if you want money to chase you, you must move like someone who's already free. Free from baggage. Free from doubt. Free from the chains you once called normal. Because the freer you become, the more the world responds to you differently. When you finally let go of what's been holding you back, you won't have to chase success anymore. It'll start chasing you. 10. Believe you're worth it. Let's be honest. None of this matters. If deep down, you don't believe you deserve it, you can build skills, you can change your habits,
You can even work harder than everyone around you. But if at the core of your soul, you still think you're not enough, you'll keep pushing money away. You'll self-sabotage. You'll accept crumbs when you were made for the whole table. Why? Because you don't get what you want in life. You get what you believe you're worthy of. Read that again. That belief, that quiet, hidden belief, is shaping every choice you make. It's shaping what you tolerate, what you ask for, what you expect, and what you settle for. And too many people walk through life with broken self-worth, asking the world to fix what only they can heal. Let me tell you something that could change your life. You were born worthy, not after a promotion, not after you heal, not once you hit 6 figures. Right now, you don't have to earn your worth. You just have to remember it. Because when you truly believe you're worth it, your whole world shifts. You stop begging for attention. You stop lowering your standards. You stop chasing what was never meant for you. You start moving differently. You start asking for more. Because you know you're not asking too much. You're just asking the right amount. For someone who finally realizes, I don't have to shrink to be accepted. I don't have to prove anything. I am enough. I am worthy. I am ready. That belief, it's magnetic. It pulls opportunities to you. It aligns your energy with abundance. It tells the universe, I'm open. I'm serious. Let's go. So if you want money to chase you, start treating yourself like someone who's already worth chasing. Speak to yourself with power. Walk into rooms like you belong. Make decisions from a place of strength, not fear. And stop letting your past define your price tag. You are not the version of you that once failed. You're the version of you that got back up. You're the version still standing, still growing, still here. The more peace, plenty of. Believe you're worth it. Because the second you do, the world starts reflecting that back to you. Closing. So let me leave you with this. Money isn't running away from you. It's waiting, watching. It's waiting for you to rise, to stop begging and start becoming, to stop chasing and start attracting. Because money flows to clarity. It flows to value. It flows to people who walk with purpose, who speak with conviction, who carry themselves like they already belong in the room. You don't need more luck. You don't need to work yourself into the ground. You need to upgrade the way you think, speak, move, and believe. Give up the scarcity mindset. Give up the desperation. Give up the idea that you're not good enough. And instead, step into your power. Step into the version of you who doesn't need to chase because they know they are the prize. You build yourself. You build your mindset. You build your life. And when you do that, money starts chasing you. Not because of who you're pretending to be, but because of who you finally decided to become. So get up, start now, and never look back.